Hello, chosen ones. Hello, black sheep. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Jenna, your host. So, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing grounding or earthing practices. Why is it important? What is it? How to do it properly? And what are some of the benefits that you would receive from grounding? So maybe you've heard about certain gurus or, people that are a little outside of the norm, always talking about grounding your energy. So what is that? How does it work? And why should you try it? There's lots of benefits. Some of the science backs that up, that there are great benefits to your health, your well-being, mentally, physically, emotionally, by being grounded in your energy. So if we look at the body, the vessel, as a shrine that we need to take good care of while we're in it. We also need to protect our energy field. So, our aura, the energy that we put out to the world, the energy that we're receiving back. Some of it we absorb like a sponge. And so, if you're an empath or somebody who feels other people's energy, you may absorb a lot of that. So, it's incredibly important to cleanse your energy often and to be grounded. That way, we don't become a sponge or a magnet for negative energy to kind of get stuck to us. So, that could be one reason that you ground. Another could be mental health benefits. It helps to relieve things like anxiety and depression. It helps us to release the feel good chemicals in our brain, like serotonin, and helps give us more of a balanced mentality. It can also help certain aspects within the body physically, things like inflammation, pain. It can help us to feel less of those negative effects from certain ailments and help us to feel more balanced and less pain. So, those could definitely be some benefits. So, grounding, or a practice also known as earthing, is a practice that involves connecting the body to Earth's surfaces. So, things like grass, trees, nature, things that are not man made, things that are nature made, will help us to energetically shift and change for the better. So you can do that a lot of different ways. One of my favorite ways is to go barefoot and walk barefoot on the ground. That's not always possible. Some people aren't able to do that. Maybe you live in a place where it's not safe for you to do those things, but that is one of the easiest ways to ground. People who know me in my everyday life know that I almost never wear shoes unless I leave the house. When I'm inside my home, I'm always barefoot. We have hardwood floors, so that's another way you can ground, is to walk barefoot on things like wood flooring. It has to be actual wood though. It can't be like man-made materials for that to work. But there's many objects that you can touch or walk on in order to ground. You can go lay outside in grass. Maybe you go to a park. Maybe it's in your backyard. Lay in the grass. Your whole body can get grounded in milliseconds just by touching the earth. So it's a practice of touching the earth, and we release our negative ions, and in milliseconds, it transmits positive ones that we are exchanging the energy. So when the earth's vibrational frequency is very high, we might also start to notice that we feel more of an increase. Maybe it's energy, maybe we start to experience other symptoms, things like maybe we feel a little floaty, maybe we feel a little off, maybe we're not feeling at our best, things like that. Those can be indications that we might need to ground our energy. So it can be done by walking barefoot or using grounding systems. Grounding is believed to have many health benefits, including reduction of inflammation, pain, and stress. So definitely worth it to give it a try. So, how does it work? Well, grounding connects the body to Earth's electrical charge, or the vibrational frequency of Earth. We have something called the Schumann resonance scale, and that tells us kind of the energy that Earth is experiencing. Normal, I want to say, is between like 7 and 8. Sometimes we've seen it as high as 90s, and so we definitely start to feel different when the vibration is a lot higher. So it can be even more important to ground when things are really elevated. So we're connecting the body to Earth's electrical charge when we ground. The body becomes part of the Earth's global electrical circuit. So if you remember back in science class when we were kids, we were shown how a circuit works, right? You flip on the light switch or you plug something in and it connects to the circuit, giving it power. So if we are kind of the light switch, let's say, and we step out or we turn it on by stepping on the earth, we are getting that circuit to complete. So earth is connecting to us, we're connecting to earth, completes the circuit, light bulb clicks on, or the grounding happens to take place. This connection is thought to improve the body's natural ability to function. So we're meant to connect to this frequency. Otherwise, we wouldn't be viable here. We wouldn't be able to live here. So we are compatible with the frequency of Earth. And sometimes things kind of happen where we get a little off kilter or we're a little imbalanced. Maybe we absorbed too much negativity from things or people around us. And so it's a critical sometimes that we earth and ground to be able to restore that natural harmony and balance within ourselves. So some benefits could be reduced inflammation, pain, and stress. So those are positive. Improved blood flow, energy, and sleep. Increased antioxidants that fight free radicals, things that help us to fight off disease and illness. Improved heart rate variability. So maybe it helps you to find that sense of calm. Maybe you've got really high blood pressure, heart palpitations, things like that. It can help you to ground and fight some of those things off so you feel more refreshed, more relaxed, and hopefully it brings those things back to normal. And improved blood viscosity, so blood flow, very important. All right, Jenna. So, how in the world did we do these things? How does grounding work? How do we actually do those things? So, one way that you can practice is walking barefoot on the grass, sand, or dirt, right? We're connecting to the ground, to the earth. Gardening is another one. Get your hands and feet in the soil. Don't worry about germs and yucky stuff. You can wash your hands with soap and water later. I promise God made the dirt so the dirt don't hurt. So, those are some things that are easy ways that you can do it. You can use grounding systems while sleeping or sitting. They sell like grounding mats, things like that you can sit on. You can use grounding sheets, mats, wrist or ankle bands, or adhesive patches. Those are definitely sold all over the place. Or use grounding footwear. I'm a firm believer that you just need to get back out in nature, and the simpler way, the better. So, if you're able to go outside, get some fresh air and sunshine, hug a tree, touch a plant, walk barefoot, lay in the grass. All of those things are ways that you can easily ground. You can also get in water. That's another way, especially if it's like the ocean, a river, a stream. You're grounding because it's nature, it's naturally made. So you will ground and you will get those benefits. All right. So, other grounding techniques that you could try would be to recite a poem, sing a song, or a book or a passage that you know by heart. It's tangible. Earthing and grounding is always tangible stuff. Make yourself laugh, right? Connect with that energy. Use an anchoring statement. So, something that kind of brings you back, things that maybe help you to reflect on what's right in front of you right now, as opposed to things that are swirling around in your mind. And then there's some other techniques like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to notice details of your surroundings. Those especially work if you're having anxiety or panic attacks. Some of those techniques will help you to kind of refocus the energy in an immediate way. And counting backwards is one way where your different parts of your brain have to engage to help you to see what's right in front of you. Is there an imminent danger or threat, or is this anxiety and fear that's being triggered in some way, shape, or form? So, those can be some techniques that could help you as well. So, what does it mean to do grounding? Grounding is also called earthing, is a wellness practice that involves making direct contact with the earth's surface, such as walking barefoot on the grass, sand, or dirt. The theory is that grounding provides a connection to the earth's electrical charge or frequency, which can have a positive impact on your body's health and mood. All right, Jenna. So, how long do I have to do this before I start to see benefits or results? So, the length of time that you should ground per day depends on your goals, preferences, and what techniques you use. You can try starting with 30 minutes per day and gradually increasing the time. Most people aren't going to have 30 extra minutes to necessarily factor into that. You can split that up into smaller increments and make it like 30 minutes throughout your day. Maybe as you drink your cup of coffee, you can go stand barefoot, in the grass or on dirt, on sand, things like that. Maybe you can go out a few minutes a day and water your house plants, or, something where you're connecting with nature in some way, shape, or form. So you can start smaller and work your way up. So the recommended grounding time is 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or 10 to 12 hours in a week. So 30 minutes, a good starting point to experience potential benefits. 40 minutes, recommended by a biomedical journal study to prevent and treat COVID-19. 10 to 12 hours recommended in a clinical study for people with high blood pressure. So let's say you can spend a half an hour here, a half an hour there. Maybe in the morning you go take a walk. Maybe in the evenings after dinner you go take a leisurely walk. There's an hour right there that you've already incorporated. Let's say you do that 5 to 6 times a week. Well, now you're starting to increase by hours. So that might actually show you some lasting benefits. How to ground. You can walk barefoot on natural surfaces like grass, soil, sand, or unsealed concrete, so porous surfaces. You can also use a grounding mat and follow the manufacturer's guidelines, or you can wear special shoes meant for grounding and earthing. You can also break the 30 minutes of grounding into shorter sessions throughout your day. Maybe on your lunch break, you only have 5 or 10 extra minutes to spare. Spend a few minutes out there basking in the sunshine if there is any, and sitting out in nature. It'll definitely help. So you can also break the 30 minutes into shorter sessions throughout the day. Some people find that longer, more frequent grounding sessions provide greater benefits. Grounding is generally considered safe for most people, and you can experiment with different durations to see what will work best for you. So I feel like for some of you, you're definitely going to want to try this. Sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera, but you might have to start in shorter increments. Again, you might have a really busy lifestyle, which means you probably need to ground more often, but you can always start small and work your way up. So try what works best for you. Try different techniques and see where it gets you. All right, Jenna, get to the point. So, how do we do this stuff? Well, we can walk barefoot on different earthly surfaces. We can find ways that work better for us if that's not something that's possible. But to ground yourself, you can focus on your breath by taking slow, deep breaths, engaging your senses by noticing 5 things that you can see, touch, hear, smell, and taste. Walking barefoot outside to connect with the earth, or practice a body scan meditation to bring awareness to your physical sensations. Essentially, you're bringing your attention to the present moment and your physical surroundings to reduce the stress and anxiety. Now, I also have a free course on my YouTube channel, Karma Walking, that is under the spiritual gifting course, where I teach you how to meditate. I teach you how to do breath work. I teach you how to meditate in a mindful way, and we incorporate grounding as part of that. So I show you how to do that in step-by-step instructions and video demonstrations. So if you would like to check that out, there will be a link down here in the description box of the video. So check those out. It'll also help you to tap into your intuition, which is also another essential tool for our mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. So here's some key grounding techniques and tips. Deep breathing. We want to inhale slowly through your nose, and then you want to hold it for a moment and exhale slowly through your mouth. So what does that look like? So we want to inhale deeply through the nose, probably about 4 seconds, and exhale slower, at least another 4 to 6 seconds. And then you start to do that a couple of times. I always tell people a minimum of 3. Get 3 good deep breaths in there. It's going to help to change the energy in your body. It's going to energize your chakras, your energy points, and it's also going to help you to decompress and de-stress. So really important that we get that deep breathing exercises started. Sensory awareness. Identify 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So think about those things as you're kind of working through these exercises. That's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So you can start small and work your way up, or you can start big and see where it gets you. But I definitely think some of these techniques actually do help and they do work. All right, we've said it a million times, but walking barefoot definitely is one of the best ways to ground. Spend time outside with your bare feet on grass, dirt, or sand and connect with the earth. So it's scientifically proven that it happens in milliseconds, so hundredths of a second, that when we step on the earth or we touch nature, that we are connected instantly to that vibrational frequency. And so things are energetically changed in moments. So what happens is let's say you're going barefoot on the grass, okay? The second that your bare feet touch the soil, what's happening is earth is exchanging positive energy and you are exchanging negative ions or energy, and it happens like a circuit. So you're completing that circuit and you're getting in that flow, that energy. You can feel it and you do start to actually feel a change, and it's usually for the better. Another one that you can practice would be mindful eating. So place play, there we go. Words are difficult, don't know why. Pay close attention to the taste and the texture of your food while eating. So sometimes we don't have that luxury, right? It's hurry, hurry, hurry. We always got to go. But sometimes we need to slow down. Our system, our digestive system especially, can be really fouled up if we don't take good care of it. So maybe we're overeating, maybe we're just hurrying when we eat. Savor the food, give it a moment, and go slow. Enjoy what it is that you're putting into your body and be mindful of what those things are. Another one would be body scan meditations. I do teach you how to do a body scan in the spiritual gifting course. Again, link in the description. So you can do a physical scan of your body. Is something off? Is there something that needs more attention? Is there a chakra that's off that needs to be addressed? Some things that you could definitely use to work through. So, a body scan meditation mentally scans your body from head to toe. Notice any sensations that you feel. So, is there something off in a certain part of your body? We teach you, we teach you to actually go through head to toe in that section and to look for like a street light. So, stop is red, yellow is caution, green would be go. So, just like a street light. And if you find areas in your body that there's like a little bit of caution or something seems a little off, pay attention to those things. That could be an energy that's also needing to be released. We show you how to do all that as well. So there's lots of goodies in that course should you choose to take it, and it is totally free. Another one is called nature immersion, right? Get out in nature, feel the sunshine, get out there, breathe some fresh air, spend time outdoors focusing on the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Have you ever been to the ocean where you can smell the salt water in the air, right? It just smells crisp and clean. Or the way that the earth smells after a fresh rain, right? There's just this cleanness in the air. So that's part of grounding, right? What are the physical things around you that you see, hear, feel, smell, or taste? Those could be some things that you really need to tune into when you're actively trying to ground and meditate. And progressive muscle relaxation. So tense and then relax different muscle groups in your body. So I carry a lot of tension in my neck, shoulders, and in my lower back. And so those are two areas that I tend to focus on when I meditate and ground because they always cause me a lot of discomfort. And so some of that we can actually work through. So maybe you're trying to release some tension in your shoulders. So tense them up, bring them up, hold them tight, and then exhale, and we're going to slowly lower those and do it 5 or 10 different times. Bring them up, relax them, stretch those muscles, and kind of get them to function and flow again. It can definitely help to release tension, pain, definite discomfort, and things like that can help you to actually release and relax. So, Jenna, are there negative side effects to grounding? For some people, it can be a little bit uncomfortable when they first feel that electrical charge or stimulus from the earth. Now, not everybody will feel that. Some people are more sensitive to stimuli than others, but the electrosensitivity for some individuals might feel like strange energy or even weird or ill when they first start grounding. For most people, they don't notice anything like that. For some people, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable, like a little bit of an electrical stimulation or tingle maybe you feel like a little bit of a zap. I myself have never noticed that simply because I go barefoot all the time. But if you notice you're a little bit sensitive, know that that's something that will lessen over time once you do it pretty regularly. All right, so does sitting on the ground count as grounding? Yes, it does, in fact. So, sitting on the ground can count as grounding. It's also known as earthing. Grounding is the practice of connecting your body to the earth. So, walk barefoot on grass, sand, or soil. Sit or lie on the ground with your skin touching the earth. You could lay in the grass. Get your hands dirty by touching or playing with soil. Gardening is a great way. I do that a lot in the summertime. Love to be out in my garden getting sunshine. I'm usually barefoot unless I'm working with heavy tools or equipment. And digging in the dirt, putting your hands in the soil is another way that you can energize, recharge, and ground. So, swim or relax in a natural body of water, the ocean, lakes, rivers, streams. It has to be natural. Swimming pools do not count because they've got all the chlorine and the minerals and things in there that are man made. They're not natural. So we want it to be a natural body of water. That's the point. All right, sit in a chair with your feet, your bare feet touching the ground. So that's another one, another easy way for you to ground. So maybe you have difficulty walking and you can't stand. You can get a chair and you can sit and put your feet on the ground. It will still work. So, some benefits of grounding. Some say that grounding can improve sleep quality, reduce chronic inflammation, and improve cardiovascular function, right? Because we're replacing the stress and the worry with peace and harmony. So, those can be really good as well. Others believe that grounding can boost immunity by connecting to a living matrix that restores the body's natural immunity. We come from Earth, we're meant to live here. So, part of connecting to Earth and nature helps our body be at its optimal best. So there's some definite benefits there. So, some tips for grounding that might help you through the process are to drink lots of water before you step outside. So, electricity flows really well through water, right? And our body is about 70 or so percent water. We need water for us to function and for our systems to function well. All of our organs definitely need water. So, drink plenty of water. It can also help the electrical current be more energized and help you be recharged. Use your senses during the opportunity to move through distress. So, if you feel uncomfortable at first, know that that's totally normal. Your body's kind of energetically changing some things, and it can be a little awkward or uncomfortable at first. And remember to take deep breaths or feel the grass around you. So, deep breathing is another way that we move the energy. So, very, very important. Do the deep breathing as you ground. It's going to help be more beneficial for you. So there are some potential risks with this. Remember, if you're walking barefoot, look out for any sort of hazards, trash, debris, sharp objects, especially if you're barefoot. So you want to make sure that you're avoiding injury, infection, allergic reactions, electrocution, and more. So no, you won't get electrocuted from the Earth's natural frequency. Be mindful of anything like downed power lines or objects that are unsafe. Let's use some common sense while we're out there wandering around the earth. One of the questions that was presented was, can you ground with socks on? So, yes, you can. However, it may not be quite as beneficial as if you are barefoot. So, keep that in mind. But yes, you can. So, grounding barefoot allows your skin to directly touch the earth, which can help improve the conduction. So, remember, we are like a circuit and we're connecting to the earth through that circuitry, completing the circuit to be able to click on that light switch. So, it's important that it's a good connection. When you ground with socks, they can hinder the connection between your foot and the ground. Sweat from your feet can also take time to hydrate the socks, which can affect grounding. So, grounding in socks or specific grounding socks are destined or designed to be used with an earthing product that can help keep your feet warm. They can be used for standing on a grounded surface, sleeping on an earthing sheet, or using an earthing throw. So, you can use specific products to ground and earth if you need to, but I feel like the best way is always just get out there in nature, take your socks off, step barefoot on the ground, connect with nature the way that it was intended through our skin. So let's talk about how it can help reduce things like inflammation. So, grounding involves connecting your body to the Earth's natural electric charge. It can reduce inflammation through the body. including the gut lining. So, the gut microbiome, right? If that's damaged, we tend to experience a lot of disharmony within the body, a lot of pain, a lot of illness, maybe allergies, things like that. So, we need to make sure that our gut biome is healthy through a healthy diet, lifestyle, exercise, fresh air, grounding, all of that good stuff, right? It all plays a factor. It can also prevent inflammation. So, grounding might prevent inflammation or reduce the signs of inflammation after an injury, such as redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function. It can also reduce chronic inflammation by rapidly resolving chronic inflammation. So, just, using your regular earthing grounding techniques can help to alleviate some of that. And it may also neutralize free radicals. So, these are unstable atoms that can damage cells, causing aging or disease. So, we don't want all that yucky stuff, right? We want to heal, we want to be at our best, we want to be fully functional. So, earthing and grounding is one of the ways that we can do that to help our body heal or be at its optimal best. All right, yada yada, all that stuff. So, what are some symptoms of being ungrounded or needing to ground? So, some signs that you might not be grounded are feeling uneasy or lost. Do you feel like nothing's making sense right now? Is everything kind of overwhelming you? Are you having difficulty finishing projects? Do you feel scatterbrained, like you're not yourself lately? There could be some lack of passion or pleasure for things that you used to enjoy. Maybe you had hobbies that you enjoyed. Maybe you feel kind of lonely or down in the dumps, maybe a little depressed. Maybe you're a little bit anxious. Are you not wanting to go and socialize? Are you not wanting to leave your house? Things like that. Those could be symptoms that you might need to ground. There could be a strong need to fix yourself or things in your life. Maybe you feel like you need a big change in your life. Start with grounding, it could do a lot of good. Questioning things more than usual. That could be something that's a sign that you really need to ground as well. Things feel extremely overwhelming. You feel maybe a sense of panic, doom and gloom. Those could definitely be some signs that you need to ground your energy, or feeling less connected to the people that you love. Do you feel like you just don't want to be around anybody? We all have those days, but is it a pattern that's developing? Is it taking a long time without any real known cause for what's happening? Get outside in nature, ground that energy, breathe in some fresh air, and get some sunshine, and it'll do you a world of good. So, another way that you can ground would be just simply walking, maybe barefoot on the earth. So, how long do you need to walk on the grass for it to actually work? So, at least 10 to 20 minutes a day, but you can also try sitting or lying on the grass. Maybe in the good weather, you go out and you take, a little blanket and you go lay out in the sunshine and take a little nap. Maybe not for hours so you don't get sunburn, but 5, 10, 20 minutes, get out there and feel the earth between your toes. So, there could be some benefits of grounding like pain relief, reduced inflammation, improved sleep. Grounding can definitely help improve sleep quality, reduced anxiety, improved wound healing, and reduced duration of respiratory infections. Grounding can help to reduce the duration of acute respiratory infections, especially in premature infants. In certain countries, I want to say it's like Sweden or something, they actually leave babies out in a carriage outside, wrap them in a blanket, dress them for the weather, and they let them nap outdoors to get fresh air and sunshine. And they're some of the healthiest babies because they get that natural immunity to things as well as fresh air and sunshine, which we know that the body needs to process things, make our vitamin D, our vitamins that we need from the sunshine, the feel good chemicals. So it is definitely something that improves things for the better. So, some tips for grounding. Make sure that the grass is free of sharp objects, litter, or harmful chemicals, right? Common sense. Let's see. Start with a few minutes daily and gradually increase the duration. Maybe you start with just 1 to 2 to 5 minutes a day of like, I can jump outside, drink a cup of coffee, and then I gotta go. That's fine. Start small and work your way up. Walk slowly, feel the ground, and focus on your breathing. Remember, inhale for 4 seconds through your nose and exhale for at least four or longer to exhale it. All right. Early mornings are ideal as the grass is often cool and sometimes it's a little bit damp with the morning dew, but it's that freshness. It's almost like the earth gets a renewal every night and we start fresh the next day. So get out there early in the day and start by processing through early in the day. So we talked a lot about grounding on grass, but it doesn't have to just be grass. Walking, running, standing, or sitting barefoot will ground you. Outside, grass, soil, gravel, stone, sand, brick, or concrete can all be ways that you can touch things. You can dig in the dirt with your hands. It doesn't have to just be your feet. You can touch a tree. You can, garden, things like that. But your bare skin touching the earth in some way, shape, or form is definitely a means of grounding your energy. So there's research to back some of these things up as well. Researchers have found that grounding might increase serotonin levels in the brain, and serotonin is a neurotransmitter that helps to regulate appetite, mood, and sleep. It's a feel-good chemical. So certain pharmaceuticals, medications are serotonin, and they actually help fight off things like depression because you might be low in one of those chemicals in your brain. So we need something to boost that. Some of it you can get naturally through earthing, grounding, sunshine, things like that, that they naturally make you feel better. So maybe you don't always have to go that route. Obviously, there are some instances where you do need help, and that's totally okay. But you can also help boost these things naturally. And so that's what this was about, is the natural ramifications. So other studies